Spellbreak players, it is week 7. I should probably start counting and writing these down. Anyways, you guys know how this goes. We go through the quests, we go through the news, and we wrap it up, and then we see it in stream the next day. So, first things first, let's we'll do the quest so that you guys know what that is, and then you can just get on with the video if you don't want to watch all the news stuff. So, first things first, you got Homestead Hostel. Destroy 10 breaker tents near Fort Halcyon. Filth cannot be allowed to remain. Destroy the breaker campsites that litter our kingdoms. If you remember last week, you had to place these like little cache, like surveillance pod things around the edges of Halcyon on the outside of the castle walls. And these are gonna be on the outside of the castle walls, a little bit farther out from what I noticed than those breaker pods. And they're exactly what they look like. They're tents. It's a campsite. Then they have like tables in the middle, and it's a campsite. Each one of them has 3 individual ones, so you have to find 4 because you've got 3, 6, 9, and then you need 1 more. And so it's like an awkward okay, we're gonna go over here, grab this one. They're, like I said, they're lined around the edge. I think there's like 5 of them. I think there are 5 breaker tent campsites, maybe 4. I could be just not counting correctly, but like I said, there are 3. And just like every other quest we've had so far, they will be glowing gold when you get within range. And they also, you can do this with a teammate. If your teammate's within your little area and close to you, it will count for them if you destroy it. So you just have to find 10 of them and destroy them between the 2 of you, so 5 each, but as long as you're close enough, there you go. Then you got number 2, secret cache. Collect 3 hidden magic stockpiles in Whitgrave. The breakers have hidden stockpiles all throughout the Hollands. Take what they have unlawfully hoarded. So you go to Whitgrave, which is just up a little bit from Halcyon, and they're little stockpiles. They're not big. I was thinking that they were gonna be big for some reason because the campsites we just done were probably the biggest thing we've interacted with so far in these quests. But this one, they're a little smaller. You'll see them on top of a box, sometimes on the ground around the areas in Whitgrave. I only found 3. I don't know if there are more. If there are more, let me know down below. But the footage of those 3 is kind of going around right now, in case you want to know where they are. But yeah, it's pretty simple. You just collect them, and that's it. You just hold it. And same thing with the first one. They are gold, and they do work with the teammate who is within your range. Now you've got 3. Breaker beatdown. This one's interesting. So activate surveillance pod and disrupt enemy. Like I said in the very first quest, remember last week when we had to place down surveillance pods? Go back to one of those. Okay, they're gonna be on the outside of the Halcyon wall. I picked the one closest to the hills. Saw Hill, you know the place. On the right side of Halcyon, just past the wall. There's a little surveillance pod. You activate it. It'll be gold as well. You activate it, and then you actually have to exile an opponent, not just down them. You have to exile an opponent, which is cool. It says disrupt, but I don't think it worked for me until they were exiled, but it could have just been my brain not paying attention. If Dan's watching this and it shows it when disrupting, just point it out and make fun of me for a little bit. So those are all of the quests. It's pretty straightforward. It is more in depth than they've kept up this it's pretty good quests, weekly quests at least, unlike the first chapter where it was a little bit just go do some damage. This is more interesting. This is what we asked for, and I'm glad they're actually following through. When you finish these quests, you'll get a little badge, which is a little magnifying glass. Wayward Investigator. Anyway, so news, not much going on. Last week we talked about how they were pushing a patch 3.1, which came and it introduced a aim change, which in my opinion was a great idea, and I think it worked. Honestly, I think it worked really well. However, for me, fire just felt really weird, and I've had fire phasing through enemies that I could clearly watch it go straight through some enemies. So I don't know if it was completely working how it was intended, or if players just didn't like the feedback, and so they pulled it back. They pulled that back yesterday, the day before, the 13th. I think, what day was it? It was 17th? Dan Oggle's Twitter. We're going to be releasing a hotfix to revert the aim heuristic change introduced in 3.1 patch. We'll take another stab at addressing underlying issues in a future update. ETA tomorrow-ish. Thanks for the feedback, folks. And then it ran into a little bit of an issue, and then they had to then release it the day after that, the day after that day after. And it's back to normal. I no longer have fire phasing through. I don't know really what's going on with that. I know they shortened something that was pretty much always there, so it wasn't that much of a change. But I think when they did it, it kind of screwed up something. But anyways, everything else feels great minus lightning. You guys know how I feel about lightning, so we're not gonna get into it. Anyways, guys, that is it. Other than they have released a lot of really cool skins. The May Twitch Prime skin is still not out yet, so maybe I'll have some news on that for you next week. But for right now, that's it, guys. Have a great day. I love you. Love yourself. Peace.
Yo, I'm hungry where them Cheetos at. They stay biting like where them mosquitoes at. I'm on point like an elbow. Hands red like Elmo. My mama said, have you had enough? I looked and I said, no ma'am. I go go ham in the grocery store or spend